Team Marker, Evil Dead Rise review, guys. Get right to action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I am your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angelica Herian.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Movie Talk for movie fans, guys. And if you have not already, be sure to like, share, subscribe to us on Alamo City Movie Talk page. Hit that little subscribe button. Hit the little bell notification to get notified for our movie reviews, in this case, or Ted Lasso reactions. And also, of course, our TV reviews and all Star Wars news, everything movie related pretty much, / TV shows that we talk about, anything here on the Alamo City Movie Talk page. But yeah, thank you so much for making us a part of your day. And let's get right to it. Angela, what are we reviewing today?
We're reviewing Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise, ladies and gentlemen, tells of a story of a twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a paramount battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish versions of family imaginable.
Yeah, it's pretty on point, I gotta say. My gosh, and I will agree. It's not a long film.
Yeah.
It's I would think it was an hour and 36 minutes.
Yeah.
37. And it goes pretty much dives into it, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't give a lot of setup, which I think Lex had said he appreciates, and I agree with that, because I don't think this needed to have a big old background.
No.
It got straight to the point.
Yeah.
Gave us just enough to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
And it got straight to the good stuff, I gotta say.
Yeah, this movie actually, it's definitely a film to where it did have a very simple, not necessarily setup, but kind of a simple introduction here. And this movie, we're not gonna mention any spoilers, by the way, guys. No spoilers here. And the introduction of this film was very small, very minimum. But it got us curious. It got us so curious. It got myself so curious to where exactly is this going. And I love that because the movie had a trigger already on. Boom, 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 let's go. And it was already 110% already focused into the story. And I love that. I love that when movies do that because it was no diddly-dally. We're not doing a side story about this character. We're not mentioning about, oh my God, my past or whatever. It was straight diving in to the main plot here. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that aspect so much. I enjoyed the direction that the director did here. I mean, and even for the most part here, this is directed by Lee. And Lee actually, he's done Ghost Train. He's well known to do that film. Movies like his style, and don't forget, executive producer was Sam Raimi, which is the original guy that did the Evil Dead. And so, knowing that he had the backbone of the original idea, the original director, the original people who made their first film, it's a win-win. It's a win-win when you have the creative side behind it. It's a win-win when you have that horror elements here, when you have that horror background already with Sam Raimi already. And so it's a W, man. It really was. I didn't expect much. I mean, I'll be honest. I expected to be more creeped out. And yes, there are a lot of creepy moments. There's a lot of the fake blood that they actually had to make was 1,717 gallons of this. And God, it showed it so much. Yeah. There was a lot of moments to where you're questioning yourself, like, oh my God, are they going to make it? Who's going to make it? You questioning yourself, is the book going to jump out of the theater of the screen at times? And it's
I gotta say though, that Evil Dead book, whatever Book of the Dead that they found.
Book of the Dead, yeah.
Whew, man, that's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Ominous. I would have just been like, put it back.
Yeah, I mean,
put it back.
There's so much of like, oh my God, do I do that? It's almost like the Scream nostalgia of just like, what are you doing, girl? Don't go outside, or just like, don't do it. And I get that, but it's definitely, it doesn't go overbearing where it's like so obvious. What are you doing? Like, it's not so obvious, but in a way, it kind of is very small. It's a very minimum. It's not like there's a Scream movie. It's not like movies like that where it's like, don't go outside, girl, and don't do that.
But you also got to realize it's not so much a spoiler because, in the trailer, it deals with, the mom that's the possessed and her kids.
Yeah.
So it's like, it makes sense the way they wrote it and they directed it and how this came to be, how this demon came to fruition. But I got to say that I agree with you. There were a lot of creepy moments. My gosh, I cannot say enough how much the special effects of the mother as she's possessed was so done wonderfully. It was great.
Yeah.
She stuff of nightmares. I gotta say, I gotta commend everything on the special effects part of that. I know we had talked off camera briefly about how the trailer didn't give away a lot of stuff, and I really appreciate that. I cannot thank that enough, because that's the thing that ruins a lot of scary movies
Films,
for me,
or just movies in general. Movies in general,
more so scary movies. But I appreciate that we still got a lot of like shock and awe moments. Yeah. Especially when it came to a lot of the gore. So I really gotta say I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised, in the theater, and I can't again say enough good things about certain aspects like the gore and effects and everything like that.
Yeah, the gore was really good. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. I mean, obviously because it's makeup more so in the original. The original came out in 1981, and that film, it's very different because this one the original in 1981 was 5 friends. This one's family, and I think it's a little bit more personal based, right? Because it's family members, and we see that a lot, and we always talk about it nonstop. Do not put the best parts in the trailer, and I guarantee you guys 110% there's not all the best parts are in the trailer. I guarantee that, not all the best parts, and I love that. I was not shocked, but like, oh man. I mean, I guess I was shocked, right? I was just like, oh man, I can't believe they're doing that. And it was in a good way, right? It was in a good way because it carried those horror elements. A lot of it, people are going to compare this, and Lex did as well, was the last, he compared it to Smile. And Smile is a very different, right? Horror element and all that. But this is very gore horror in a way. I mean, Smile was very gore horror, but this was extreme. And I'll be honest here. This is definitely a movie that any horror fan, any person that wants to be scared, should watch this movie. That's of age. We have to say that's of age to watch this, because this is rated R.
And viewer discretion advice.
Of course, of course. And this movie, the kid actors in here, the teenage actors in here, the little girl that was in here. Oh man, they did fantastic. I actually had no issues with any of the kids here / teenagers, and it was done so damn well. Like, oh my god, I the little girl that plays in here, I really didn't I didn't expect such of a good character, Cassie, in here as much, and I was just like, oh man, we saw something very different, something very just creepy. The creepiness, the more touching of the children, because the children were just, it was with with the mother. We saw that in the trailer, and so we get that little connection here more so in it. And yeah, it's very shocking, it's very revealing, and it's very creepy. It's good. It really is. It's fantastic, and I can't stop saying good things, positive things. I know why critics like us are saying this movie's the top of the line. And I know it's why it's rated. It's still in the 90s because of this. The writing's good. It's a main plot story. It's a well-directed story. It's a well-directed movie. This movie is well-directed. This is exactly what a horror movie should be in our day and age. And it's sad because we don't get rare ones. This is rare. This really is rare because we get so many different movies. Not mentioning because The Conjuring is good. We enjoy The Conjuring movies. I do.
The first ones, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those points to where like it doesn't rely on the big bass scenes, because there wasn't too much of a big bass in this, because I know you were not too much big bassy, and it was just like boom boom boom, like it doesn't rely on that. It relies more on story, and it relies more on the gore, which is the whole point of the Evil Dead series or the franchise,
Yeah, I know the music score is very interesting for this one. Like you say, doesn't like for me, usually when I watch a scary movie, I do have to, it's a little loud for me, so I have to like plug one ear just to make it watchable. I didn't have to do that for this movie, which I appreciate, because I could hear more of the sounds of like the small sinister sounds, like her laughing and her singing and
the nails,
just the nails, and just a little crack of the bones, which I thought added to that creepiness effect. It did. And again, I am blown away by the actors and actresses. I really enjoyed this film. Yeah. Came out of the theater shocked and awe. I gotta say though, so I agree. I think this is a pretty well done film, and I would highly recommend people see it, check it out. Definitely. With the viewer discretion advice warning.
Of course. And I did not know this. I actually just looked it up right now, that the executive producer as well in here with Sam Raimi is, of course, Bruce Campbell, which was in the original Evil Dead. So damn, I love this. I love it when people come together. I love it when people get the original creators and like they get along. There's like, this is the next generation now, and I love that. It's not like, oh no, I can't be a part of it. I was original, like I'm the OG.
The original one does have its own cult following too.
Yeah. So, oh, of course. I think this whole franchise has its own cult following in a way to where like it's huge, it's big. There's a lot of horror fans,
and it has to be done right. So if there's one of the films that if you're gonna bring it back, if you're gonna do a sequel, reboot it, whatever, fans want it to be done right, and I feel like this did live up to the franchise name.
I believe so, and after watching this movie, definitely, I do recommend this movie, guys. We do recommend this film. Was this fun that we deserve to say yes? Hell yes, it is. Rating 1 out of 10. 10 be the highest, Angela. What are you gonna give this rating?
That's difficult. I will give it an 8.5 because I really enjoy this for being a horror film.
Nice.
I'm a little picky about them because I feel like they're very predictable.
Yeah.
And this really wasn't. It had a certain ending, but it's very open-ended.
Yeah.
So it kind of leaves you questioning what's going to happen next. And maybe it will open up to future ones. I don't know.
You never know.
Never know.
But they all pretty much end like that in a way.
So I would say a solid 8.5. I enjoyed the gore, enjoyed the special effects, love the actors and actresses.
Definitely.
I think it was a pretty solid film.
Yeah, the runtime in here. I'm tired of movies to where like movies need to be over 2 hours or they need to be over 2. Like no,
3 hours.
No, like this proves the point to where you don't need to make a 2-hour movie to have the best movie in cinema or the best horror movie in cinema right now as of today. You don't have to do that. This proves it. This proves that like you can make movies like the old school runtime, the 90-minute mark, the 96-minute mark, like this one. This proves it. Like you don't have to make a big old freaking huge budget of a movie. This happened all in one apartment or one area apartment, one floor of apartment per se / parking lot. But we see that in the trailer, and it's just you really see that and you follow along with this, and it compels the story in a way because it really touches the base of like, oh man, I live in an apartment like that, or like, oh man, I could live in or maybe, oh, that reminds me of that apartment that I used to live in. And I like that because it kind of,
I mean, we all like go into parking garages at one point in our life. So
that's all I'm saying. They better look twice on parking garages. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 8.8, guys. Almost a 9 because this movie really exceeded my expectations here. I already was walking in with high expectations, but it exceeded them 110%. I love that. I love when movies prove me wrong. I love it when especially when high stake films like this, a high following of this magnitude because it's huge. Horror fans love Evil Dead. They do. Not all the movies, not all the films, but originally the last one came out of the I can't remember, in the 2000 eras, and that one was not bad, and people were like, oh man, this is not bad at all. And so knowing that they're coming off that really good momentum already, it's like, damn, this one just took it up another notch. Better. I think this is better than the last one. I'll say that. This is better than the last sequel for sure. But definitely, guys, be sure to check this out at the theater near you. We do recommend this movie, guys. Alamo City Movie Talk does recommend this film, guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680, guys. Signing off on here.
I'm Angela Ariange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk once again, guys. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Angela, that's it? Final words? Anything?
Give it a shot. You'll be pleasantly surprised. I bet. And just fair warning, you may or may not be able to sleep tonight. So
fair warning, guys. All right, thank you so much. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe, San Antonio. Catch you later. Peace.